Alrighty. We are going to get started. Let me see if I can adjust this camera a little bit better. So as you can see, I am not in my typical studio today. I had a lot to try to finish up this morning, and I was not able to make it over there in time. So I am here at home, wearing a fuzzy flannel, to keep the cozy home aesthetic. You gotta be true to it. And also my microphone wasn't connecting for some reason, so I'm just using the built-in MacBook Studio mics. So hopefully they sound pretty good because I don't have anything else right now. All right, so we're gonna get moving on a couple things here. I don't have a lot to discuss today, but I did miss the live stream last week, so just kind of want to recap a lot that's happened these last 2 weeks and things like that, and just go on to tell you guys about some products I've just launched and some things that I'm testing and stuff like that. So first of all, we're just going to kind of do a brief recap of this last couple weeks. But before I do that, I just want to restate for anyone who's first live stream of mine or anything like that, please message in the chat at any point, interrupt me, comment on what I'm saying, make a joke. I don't really care. I want to get to know you guys even better, and that's the whole point of these live streams. So I would love your interactions and all that kind of stuff here. So any kind of interaction you want to do would be greatly appreciated. All right. So first, the recap of the last couple weeks. Were very, very busy for me, actually. That's probably why I didn't post quite as much as I was hoping to. You might have saw that I posted the Galaxy S25 Ultra unboxing. That was fun for me, and I've been testing that for a little over a week now, and I've I've started my 30-day test of using this as my primary phone. And we're going to see if it will permanently have me switch or not, which I'm kind of feeling like not, but I don't know. There's a lot I am loving about this phone. I do miss some things about my iPhone, but I can go into some of that more if we want to later. And yeah, that's been my big focus. I finished editing and posting the iPad mini versus 11-inch iPad Pro video. That one's doing pretty well. I've heard a couple comments from that one where they were happy that I was making another iPad video again. iPad videos aren't going away. So I love my iPad. I love my e-ink tablets too, but I don't plan on stopping making iPad videos by any means. I'm not limiting myself to a certain category, but I did kind of blow up a lot on YouTube with my iPad videos, so I'm not going to neglect those. And yeah, iPad Air versus Pro. Yes, I have lots of thoughts on that. Thank you for that. Don't buy the iPad Air. That's just my big recommendation to everyone out there. I'm gonna actually make a video kind of centered around that topic. More of a complete buyer's guide for what's out on iPads right now. And the big thing I'm going to say is I don't recommend anyone to buy the iPad Air, especially right now. But even in a little while, I still wouldn't recommend it. This is why. I think a older iPad Pro is a much better option, and you can find them for almost the same price. The iPad Airs are like 600 for the 11-inch and 800 for the 13-inch. You can find a 800 12.9-inch M1 or M2 iPad Pro. That's definitely possible. Or a 600 11-inch M1 or M2 iPad Pro. And that's way better. They have ProMotion. They have much nicer screens. Well, the 12.9-inch ones would have the mini LED screens. The 11-inch is basically the same screen technology, but still that ProMotion makes it feel a lot better. And yeah, they're just nicer tablets. I think the Pros are the way to go for sure. And if you don't want to get the latest iPad Pro, I would just find a refurbished or a used older iPad Pro. I think that's just the wisest choice. I think the iPad Airs, if they had ProMotion, and I think they would make a lot. It would be a lot more compelling to get those. And if they had some of that better screen technology and all that stuff, and they also have like chunkier bezels, I don't know, they just don't look as nice and feel as nice. Oh, Face ID. Face ID is amazing on iPads, and iPad Airs don't have it, and the Pros do. So as far back as 2018 Pros. So that is another killer reason to go for the Pros. Yeah. I also know a lot of rumors that are saying a new iPad Air is like right around the corner. So for that reason as well, I would say definitely don't buy an iPad Air right now. But maybe this new one will have some of those features where I'll say it's worth it now. But the rumors are just basically saying it's going to get the M3 chip versus the M2, which is not really much of an improvement. So, yeah, I'm thinking Pro all the way. Great question. Thank you, Hans. All right. So, yeah, iPad videos definitely not going away. I'm very passionate about the iPad as well. Uh, I am definitely neglecting my iPad mini more and more though, and I'm really mentally debating of whether I'm going to keep it around again. That that iPad. I always love the idea of it, and it sways me to buy it every single time. And then I get into the reality of it, and I'm just like, my 11-inch iPad Pro can do that too, and it's not much bigger, and it does even more. And now having an S25 Ultra here, I've tried using this more as like my small mini notebook with the S Pen here, and that's actually been working pretty well. I've been quite enjoying that, and with it being my actual phone, I always have it with me and in my pocket. So that kind of replaces a need or a use case that I would have had for my iPad mini. I may still keep it around as just a device to install betas on, but that's really all I'm using it for at this point. And it's a little sad. I wish I could do more with that iPad. So yeah, that was my last couple weeks. A lot of it was also consumed with. I was helping out at an event at my church a lot, so that was a big time suck that I had. Which it was very good, very awesome event we put on. But yeah, it took a lot of time, and then I'm trying to fix up a car and sell it and all that kind of stuff. So there's been a lot of other things on my plate as well. And then just recently, I've been trying to finish up some products to put it on the website for you guys and actually be able to show you some stuff today, which we will be doing. And that is exciting. So, yeah. I think that's pretty much the recap of last week. If you guys have any questions on any of the videos I posted, though, honestly, even further back than last couple weeks or anything like that, please do let me know. I know the last live stream I had, I'd said that I'm going to be trying to do 11 a.m. every Thursday, and then I missed the next week, which was pretty sad. But it is still my plan to do this time every week on Thursday. Most weeks I should be able to make it, and hopefully if I don't, I should be able to post something about not being able to make it. And I didn't last week. I thought I did, but I must not have ever actually posted it, which is very sad. But yeah, so I am very excited about more content that I'm working on. I have another couple iPad videos I in the works here and some more e-ink stuff. I want to go deeper into how the different e-ink platforms handle PDFs. I think that I did a video on Supernotes handling the PDFs a while ago. It was like my second video on the channel, so like 100 videos ago. But I think an updated version of that would be good, but then also kind of comparing it to how Remarkable does it, how Penstar does it, and a couple things like that, and showing which platform of tablets that I own actually handles PDF usage the best. I think you'll find that it will be the Supernote, but what that is and how much better it is and the differences is all stuff we're going to discuss. All right. I'm going to go over a little bit more about switching to this device. Definitely really awkward in certain areas. Like, yes, that is exactly what I'm about to say, actually. I do miss iMessage. Uh, but, uh, yeah, it's been weird in certain circumstances and not so weird in other circumstances. Like I don't really like the interface of Google Messages. I mean, it feels very Google, but I'm not a huge Google fan. So yeah, and that's what I'm using because I don't think Samsung Messages supported RCS, and I really wanted to use RCS. Um, so Google Messages isn't terrible, and with RCS, I don't miss iMessage features quite as much because it can do a lot of that stuff, and it at least still allows better images and videos to be sent back and forth and all that kind of stuff. But there are things that are missing. I mean, I can't play Game Pigeon in my messages, so that's pretty big downside for me. And like little things like that. And there is nicer featured with iMessage. Also, editing a message after the fact is not something you can do with RCS, but you can do that now with iMessage. So all that kind of stuff really helpful. Uh, and yeah, there are some apps that do just look better on the iPhone, and it's really annoying. I understand why. It's because developers prioritize the iOS platform as that's a bigger platform, especially in the United States. So, yeah, it makes sense, but it's disappointing. Pretty much all of Samsung's native apps look really good. Like their weather app looks a lot like the iOS. Oh wow, there we go. A lot like the iOS weather app here. So that looks really nice. Uh, the Samsung Notes app is pretty clean. There's nothing really bad about that. But yeah, when you start to go into things, what's an example I can give? Oh yes, the Weather Channel. The Weather Channel had recently had a nice uh, update with iOS, but yeah, it did not get that nice of an update on here, and now it's not even letting me use it without signing in. So I guess I'm not going to show you guys that app, but yeah, there's just things that look way older and not as optimized on Android. I think Apple Music actually looks the same as on iOS. I don't really think anything looks different. All the categories work just fine. The search works just fine. So I don't see a big problem there. And their native camera app, I think, is in some ways even better than iOS camera app. And the settings, I mean, looks fine. It navigates fine. It's just pretty much the third party apps can be pretty hit or miss. There is definitely uh, you definitely have that chance of not having an optimized app. But most of them run pretty well, and Google's apps run fine on Android. I mean, they own Android, so they better. And there has been strides made in the Android world to make that gap a little bit smaller, but it's there. And it is something that I think is a downside for sure with the Samsung S25 Ultra. So yeah, I definitely miss iMessage for certain features. RCS makes it way more bearable though. But like things like I didn't even realize how much I rely on my contacts just being synced across devices. Because when I chose to set this device up as new, I'm like, oh yeah, because when I just sign into my account, it will just sync my contacts. But it doesn't. I just took that for granted completely, and I had to go to iCloud and like download my contacts and install them on this phone. It was actually a relatively easy process, but I still had to do it, and that was a friction I wasn't used to dealing with. But besides those couple things and kind of getting used to having a fingerprint reader on the phone again to unlock it, they do have a face recognition stuff too, but it's not quite as good. So all that kind of stuff, just growing pains of using it. And that's why I felt like if I'm just like, I'm going to switch to it for a week and then go back, I'd probably very easily go back to my iPhone. Just be like, yeah, it's better. But at the same time, I wouldn't really have been giving it a proper test. So I think going like a whole month with using it is going to make me really consider which one is better. The S25 Ultra does support eSIM, but it does also have a physical SIM card slot. So yeah, right now I'm actually using it with eSIM because my 16 Pro Max that I was using in the past was my personal phone, and it does not have a SIM card slot, so I was just able to transfer the eSIM. It was actually quite finicky, though. It didn't work like how it was supposed to, so I had to call Verizon and get them to switch it on their end, but then it went pretty smoothly after that. So, yeah. It definitely is not as convenient as back in the day when we would just pop out the SIM card and pop it back in. In some ways, I wish the iPhone still had that slot. eSIM is nice for certain things, but not for others. Yeah, but it does support it, so if you only have eSIM or something like that, it would go fine with an eSIM, or if you prefer that, it works great as well. The only thing is that the iPhone still has eSIM outside of or a physical SIM card slot outside of the United States. And I've seen people tear down the iPhone and they actually just keep a little plastic piece in place of the slot in the US. So they have the internal space for it. They're not using anything cool with it. They're not doing anything nice. It's just literally a piece of plastic that's blocking it. So it's just very arbitrary. They're just clearly trying to force the industry to go more eSIM. So it's literally there. It's just they block it off and then they remove the outside slot. Yeah, it is crazy. It's a very Apple move, and it's one of the things I don't like about Apple, but I also love their products. I'm never going Windows for my desktop machine. I've had a Windows PC for many years, but using a Mac for things like anything work related is 100 times better. I do not claim that Macs are gaming computers, but I don't really game on my computers anyway. So yeah, Macs are just the way to go for me for a desktop machine. And I've found that my S25 Ultra works fine with it. You can plug it directly in with USB-C and just open image capture on the Mac, and you can just pull off any images or videos on it really easily. So, and it transfers very fast. AirDrop is missed, but it's not too bad of a workaround. So I'm not going to complain too much. I will be using the S25 Ultra as like one of my main camera angles of my videos while I'm testing it. So we're going to see how that works, see if there's a quality increase or decrease from it, or if it basically just produces the same kind of content. I mean, I'm not going to be doing anything different with it, so I'll keep it in a mount above my desk or something. So it's not going to be bumped around, and we're not going to really be testing stabilization that way. But I will do videos like that if you guys want to see it. I mean, how curious are you guys of my take of the S25 Ultra versus the iPhone? I mean, if that's something that interests you, I'll definitely be making lots of follow-up videos. I've been using my YouTube Shorts a lot to kind of vlog the little things I found along the way, like, oh, I didn't know it could do this, or oh, I wish it could do this, or oh, I wish iPhone could do this. So I'm going to keep doing that at least, but if you want some more dedicated, longer form videos, I can definitely work on that, and maybe do more camera comparisons and stuff like that. The zoom is kind of fun. And all right, yeah, comparing videos and photos will be interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely go into that and do that. The zoom is pretty crazy, I will say. There was one time we were looking out the window and we thought we maybe saw like a dog across the street, and we weren't really sure what it was, or if it was the neighbor's dog or some kind of wild dog or something like that. So I just zoomed right into it and got a pretty clean picture of the dog. Maybe I can even find that picture here for you guys. And we were standing inside the house looking through a window across the street. Like, it was pretty stinking far away. We could not really make out what the dog was from our vantage point. Let's see if I have that. Yeah, so this is the picture of the dog. So it's going through a window and way across the street. I think it did a pretty good job. So, yeah, definitely nothing the iPhone could ever do. It would look crappy. You can't even zoom that far, I mean, in the actual app. So it won't even let you do that. I think that's honestly something I wish Apple would improve, because the Samsung uses a 5x lens to get those kinds of zooms. So if they just up the megapixel count of their 5x lens, they could probably replicate a lot of those zoom shots that Samsung can do. So I think they should give it like a 48 or 50 megapixel sensor like the other two are now, and then Apple probably has just as good a chance of getting those kind of shots. And I think that would be really cool. Yeah, it's fun to see. Yeah, the dog would have been about 2 acres away. Thank you for exact measurements. I was in his house, so yeah, uh, yeah. It is definitely a lot better than a lot of iPhone pictures. I completely agree. I mean, especially through any kind of glass or window, anything gets a little bit distorted. And then the fact that it's like over 2 acres away and you got a pretty clear shot of the dog, we could even identify the breed. It was definitely a Labradoodle. And then we're like, oh, that neighbor has a Labradoodle. So it's definitely their dog. We're good. So, yeah, it was actually helpful. I don't typically think of a time when I would want to zoom 100 times, but I actually kind of found one, and it was cool. It worked really well. So I think there's stuff like that, and like I said, I like taking notes on it because I'm crazy. I know not everyone will ever want to do that on a phone, but I love taking my handwritten stylus notes on it, and then doing stuff like that. I think is super fun. So we'll see which one ends up winning in the end. I know if I do switch to this more long term than even just 30 days, I still will miss iMessage features. I still will miss AirDrop. I still will miss the convenience of the Apple ecosystem of having a iPhone. And that's one reason why I will never actually get rid of my iPhone. I've pretty much know that for a fact that I'm always going to be wanting to test iOS stuff and iPhone features. So the iPhone's not going anywhere. I also love the Apple Watch, and I need that to be able to pair to it and do anything with that. So yeah, iPhone's not leaving anything, but will it be the one that carries my SIM card all the time? I don't know. It might be the Samsung, it might be the iPhone, or maybe I'll keep both and have the iPhone as the one with the SIM. Anything like that is possible. All right. Any other questions that you guys have on me using this phone for a little bit, or any content I might be making soon? Otherwise, if you guys don't have much, I think I'm going to go into showing you all about the products that we have on the webpage. I'll just give you guys a couple seconds here. I know I'm a little bit ahead of you all, so I'm going to try to fill the void by talking and like this and random things. And yes, I'm talking. Here we go. All right. Well, I'm just going to start moving on. And if at any point you guys have another question, though, and you want to backtrack a little bit, that's fine. Just interrupt me. Don't worry about it. I'm going to try not to be too sales pitchy here because I don't really want to make you guys feel like you need to go buy things just to like my videos or anything like that. No, we don't. None of this stuff is necessary or needed, but for those who have a Supernote Manta, this might be one of the products might be interesting to you. And for anyone just looking to support the channel, I got some merch basically now, and that's going to be the premise here. Let's see, get this set up. All right. We're going to go to my screen recording here. All right. Hopefully you guys can all see the screen well enough. So basically I'm just going to type Graf-X Industries.com/tech. So this will go right to my page. And this website is a work in progress, so bear with it a little bit. Oh, and apparently it's not loading my video, which is sad. But I'm going to fix that too. This is supposed to be displaying the latest video on the channel at all times. Not YouTube Shorts, though, just long-form videos. I wonder if this live stream is making it not sure what the latest video is. So that's a fun thing there. But yeah, that's supposed to be showing the latest video right here. I'll work on that code a little bit. And then the formatting will keep getting updated and adjusted. We're in the infancy stage of our website, but I wanted to get something up there really quick that was functional. So if I click on store here, this will go to the store as well. Another way to get here is just to go grafxindustries.com/products/tech. So that is another way to do that. But yeah, so these are the main 4 products I have right now. Have a t-shirt that has the logo on it for 13 bucks. Then a couple sweatshirts here for close to 40. This does not include shipping, unfortunately. We just don't have the ability to bake that into the price at a consistent way. So, and you know what? I want to be pretty transparent with how much shipping costs us. So, we're not charging crazy amounts for shipping. It's like $5 or $6, something like that. But that's how much the shipping costs. And if we would bake that in, it basically just make these prices $5 to $6 more. So, I think it works well, and it's pretty transparent that way. But yeah, I have a bunch of different sizes you guys can pick from here. So small, medium, large, extra, extra large. They should be pretty universal. I think they use mostly men's sizes, but they should be kind of unisex. So, yeah, it should work for most people. These are the exact shirts that I wear in a lot of my tech videos and stuff like that. So I know they work really well. JC and Joel, my compatriots who went with me to CES, they also have shirts like that. So they can attest that they're pretty nice quality and they work pretty well. I honestly haven't really used these much. So I think they seem pretty good quality, but if I find better supply or versions to use, I will do so. But yeah, I think overall this is pretty nice options here, and it gets you guys a place to start with. If you have any suggestions on other articles of clothing that you'd prefer to support me with buying, definitely let me know. If you prefer white versions with the black logo on it, also let me know that as well. I started with the black with the white text, mostly just because that's the shirts I tend to wear, is the black ones with the white, because I think they work a little bit better for a lot of things. Like, they don't get stained as easily, all that kind of stuff. They're a bit more solid. White can get a little see-through sometimes too. So just reasons like that, I chose to wear black shirts a lot more for myself. But we can definitely look into other options. I'm keeping it pretty simplistic for logo design right now because we're doing it all in-house. If you actually would click on like this one here, it actually says apparel is made to order, so please allow up to 3 business days before the product ships, because we actually will get your order and then make it in-house. So I suggest some of the other ones down here as well. Some of this text is very hard to read, and that's something I really want to fix. It's like all black down here, and yeah, it this theme that was applied had lots of quirks to it, and I'm not a fan of everything about it. So we might do some pretty substantial remodelings of the looks, but the functionality should be pretty much the same here. So yeah, you just could just pick a size. No size is gonna be different priced. They all are gonna be the exact same price here, and then you can just use PayPal or something to pay, and yeah, it's pretty nice. I think they look good. So obviously going to tech here should load a video, and then you can go to the store that way, or just type this URL in graphicsindustries.com/products/tech. Then the more actual tech product that I had launched here. I don't know why these pictures seem a little darker than I had them uploaded as. I might do some new ones then if this is how they're going to look. But yeah, so this is a custom pen loop for the Supernote Manta. You guys have probably seen this on my live streams before, but this is now officially available to be purchased in black and white. The white is not in stock. Like, we don't even have the plastic in quite yet, so this is definitely going to take a little bit longer if you order it in white. But we are working on getting it, and then as soon as we have it, I'm going to add some pictures of the white versions in here as well. But then the black version is also, I have it on back order only because we don't actually have many of them printed out, or really, I don't know if we have any extras printed out yet. I have the final version in hand, but basically that's just my copy. So we still have to print some more to fill in the stock. And then once we get that, we'll actually add how many are in stock and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm selling them as a 2-pack. So it is going to be including the small and the large size together, so the two different sizes here. And I did that mostly because it's just not affordable to package and ship them for us if it's just the one. We just would almost be losing money, or we have to price them up so high that it's just not even worth it. So the $13 for both of them I think makes the most sense, and it's like a $4 shipping because these things are so light. So yeah, it's going to be very nice for anyone who uses Supernote Manta. I find these pen loops to be a step above the originals, especially for like these two pens that I show in the pictures here. The Lamy pen, it is just too big to fit properly in the Supernotes loop, and this fixes that completely. It fits perfectly. It's completely flat, the devices at least, when this is on a table or a surface. And then the other one, the hard metal pen here, the fabric loop is just very floppy, so this a little bit stiffer material helps it not flop around quite as much, and this heavier pen just feels a lot more secure. So I think these are definitely the two pens, if you have either one of them, that this would be a good upgrade for. If you don't use these pens and you use like the standard pen, I think the loop that comes with it is probably fine. Like, see, I'm a terrible sales guy. I'm not gonna convince you that this is the product for you if it's not the product for you. It's mainly meant for people with those other two styluses, and yeah, it works well. I mean, the smaller one definitely works with the standard pen, has no problem working with it, but I don't really think it necessarily changes the experience that much with it. So yeah, I wish I could have the white ready in time for you guys here to show you how that looks with the device right away, but I don't think the black looks bad, but yeah, the white would look nice too. So yeah, that's basically what I have for products here. Obviously, no worries and no pressure. You guys don't have to go out and start buying these things like crazy. But anything you can do to help the channel, all of these will support it, especially the merch. It's just supporting the channel, and now you're being a free advertisement for the channel to everywhere you go when you wear them. So yeah, they would be greatly appreciated, but obviously get what you need to get. and no worries here. There's other products on this webpage that are not tech related at all. But hey, if you're curious, there's like we make basically like GI Joe 1/12 scale, uh, like an army tank here. This is like the Wolverine and the Skyhawk the ship. Uh, my business partner modeled these and made them. They're pretty stinking nice. So yeah, they're pretty good. If you're a GI Joe collector, I'm just gonna randomly plug them, so don't mind me here. These are also for Transformers stuff. A certain kind of combiner that my other business partner made, and then these ones are different Transformer upgrade pieces and stuff like that I made. So yeah, if you're curious about any of those stuff, they're here too. But if you just want the tech stuff, you can go straight to my section of the store, and that's gonna be all my products here. If you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. Otherwise, that's all I have to tell you there. So we'll switch back to my main camera here. Yeah, so again, if it was interesting to you guys, please go out and purchase that, or at least look into it. Or if you know someone who you think would be interested in it, please share that with them. Anything would help support the channel. I really do appreciate that. But also just doing like super chats and stuff like that supports the channel too. So I really don't care the method, and even just watching the video, subscribing, sharing the videos, all that stuff supports the channel. So you don't need to spend money to support me in any way. I don't really care if you do. You're not going to be like super special person to me if you spent some money on me. I don't really want to hold necessarily someone in much higher regard than other people. I think just watching the video, being on the live streams here, all that kind of stuff, it's very supporting to me as well. Although money it helps. I would be lying if I said it didn't. But yeah, it looks really cool, and I think all the merch looks good, and I would wear it. I do wear it, so but I guess I'm a little biased too. So if you guys have any suggestions on clothing or things as well, definitely keep me posted on that. I very much don't mind adding variations, or like I said, like a white with a black, anything like that would be fine with me as well. Yes, I do plan on linking up merch and any of the products I have in future videos. I think that's going to be something I'll just do standard. I'll just have a link to that Graf-X Industries /product/tech link right in my description. Yep, that's definitely something I would want to be doing. Hopefully anyone interested in that merchandise would be able to see it there. And I'll do a more official announcement video for that pen loop especially, and I'll probably mention the merch in it as well, but I'll focus on the pen loop, and I'll show in that video a bit better of the pros and cons to my version versus the original, because sometimes it's hard to tell from just images of the product. You kind of want to see it in use compared to the original. So we'll do all that in the video, and I think it will make a really nice video, and hopefully that will help some of you guys out there. I'm not doing these products really to make a whole lot, especially that pen loop. It was more like I saw an actual need, and I think that people who have this device wouldn't mind getting it. So, yeah. Looking for a best screen protector for the S25 Ultra. I got dry fingers and fingerprint sensor isn't working well with the tempered glass. It would be great if you could suggest any. I will definitely look into that for you. Unfortunately, I have not looked into screen protectors for the S25 Ultra yet. I don't like screen protectors that much. I know I live life on the edge, you know. But yeah, currently I have no screen protector on the S25 Ultra. Mostly that's because it has a really good anti-reflective coating, and I love taking advantage of that. It's way better than the iPhone. It's really good at diffusing light and stuff, almost as good as nanotexture on the iPad, but not quite. And I feel like putting a screen protector on top of it would kind of ruin that. In fact, I know it does ruin the anti-reflectivity. So I don't know if I will be using a screen protector with it, but I can certainly look into some and maybe even just try a few, even if I don't keep them permanently, and make some kind of video on that. That's a great suggestion. I'll definitely be looking into that. Thank you. All right. Any other questions you guys had? Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that's all I had to discuss today. Yeah, I don't see anything else in my notes here, so uh, it's been it's been fun. I love just talking to you guys and catching up on the week and everything like that. And these products I think are exciting. I'm happy to have some other ways you guys can support the channel. I think that'll be really cool. But yeah, if that's it, then we're going to just end the stream here and just have a great rest of your day, guys. There should be another video coming out before the weekend on this channel, so definitely watch that and give it some attention, some love. But yeah, anyways, have a great